I-95 Bangor's Classic Rock Station at 95.7 FM, i95rocks.com. We got an app for that as well. If you're listening on the app, streaming us live, hello and good morning, and thank you for tuning in. I am Corey. It's 8:12 and 40 degrees outside in the studio. The guest with me this morning, Mike Cole, the man that everyone wants to pick the brain of right now because you have some insight onto what's possibly going to be coming down the pike for the Bangor Mall. Tell us all about it. Tell us your plan.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's already been out there. I did want to come in and, I just wanted to say we've been working on this for a long time. The reason we thought about this is, I'm from here, and I was walking around as a little kid in that mall. I never thought of it, just being neglected and having it go away, and I can't picture that happening. So being a real estate agent for more than 20 years, try to find something that works. Use contacts that I've had for, in business for the last 20 years. The interesting thing is, there's so many people that's so interested in what's going on here, but if we were just going down to, say, build a building full of condos down in Portland for the same, which, it's actually a lot more money. If you just built one condo building down in Portland, that would cost more than what we're doing here. Yet everybody's online, everybody's back and forth, and everybody's got comments and everything else. It's only because it's so important to everybody.
Right. I think that's the thing. People have a vested interest because they have history with this building.
It is very important, and the fact that this is something very challenging that I signed up for. And I've had to, cut my real estate business in half. And then when it really got intense and working on this, I had to cut it in half again. And now I'm giving my full attention to this. And it's very important. And what got me into this really was the community. All that is a location, and it's a concrete building, and it's concrete and steel. And what it is it's the community. And really, that's why we're doing this. Like I said, money-wise, it's not that big of a deal, but we have businesses that are operating inside it right now. That does make it a little challenging, but the fact that there was a lawsuit and the fact that, the whole Sears wing was neglected and that was actually shut down with now there's a wall across there and you can't even get over there. Well, that's actually helpful to us because that's where we plan on doing most of the work for the first phase. So there's been a lot of things that I just felt kind of guided to do this. Had the right contacts, and I had some great ideas, and if I do say so myself, but you always wonder if your idea is good until somebody else looks at it.
Well, tell us.
You paint a picture, and then somebody walks up and wow, that no. Okay.
I mean, we've seen kind of the specs. We've seen a little bit of what it is. What's the plan for the layout?
So really we decided to pick on the former Sears building because that's been vacant for so long. That is literally it's a concrete box with a metal roof, like I said, but it's huge. And if we can use the original roof and roof height and all that, great. Any way that we can save money, that's fine. The only way that we're going to save money is if it's actually safe and it's actually and it's structurally sound. It may change its shape. It may look different. But what our focus is to make a place where people would really want to live. That's the deal. And
so that's condos in that area. So what you're thinking
in that building, yes. Mm-hmm. And it's all going to be self-contained. There's not going to be it's going to you have to be a resident there to get in there.
Okay.
Shoppers in the mall and stuff, they're not going to be able to wander around the halls in there. You know what I mean? It's like, where's the bathroom? It's not going to happen. The condition right now is not great, but it is already like a community in there. It's like when you get a bunch of people that goes through bad things together, you really become close. So all of those business owners and managers and employees in the mall, they've become really close, I think, one of the only working bathrooms, I shouldn't say this on the radio, but is in Dick's Sporting Goods. And people have been directed to go in there. And They just need to put up with the function, and that's the way it is right now. But hopefully, help is on the way.
Now, speaking of Dick's, I know a lot of people had questions
Yeah.
about some of the existing tenants there, and you guys are going to be working with folks like that to see where they can find a way to fit in.
No, we're going to kick everything.
No.
No, I'm just, we're absolutely. I mean, they're the link in the chain. They're the reason why this building is still standing. I'm very loyal. I see function. I see how things move. Everything that I think about, everything I design, I guess I have an engineer's mind because I design it like a working engine. That's what I do. It has to function. Everything has to be, symbiotic relationship, and everybody has to be able to work together. But yeah, we want to work with the people that's there, and maybe people. I'm not going to say which ones are which, but there are some businesses that of course, they would like their business to be better. There's some that are in there that they don't have a lot of money, and that's not the business that they had, they had designed, but that's what the money that they have. And what I'm saying is, this whole building, and it's all going to be elevated. It's going to be brand new. All the updates are coming, and some of the businesses need to be updated as well. But I want to work with the people that's there. Picture some of the businesses that you would think that might not be able to hang on. But what if that business was elevated? What if it was the best of that business that it can be in a great space and with a lot more clients and customers around? And we're going to do everything we can, to have it that way.
Now, you've got the condos in one spot. You've got the existing, retail. I know you had mentioned at some point to me when you were talking about maybe doing an assisted living facility.
Yeah, in my mind, that's going to be right down there close to where the condos are. These are going to be secure places. People aren't going to be wandering around. Now, if my original thought was for an assisted living facility there, and this was before it really started to decline. And I had that idea actually a long time ago. And then when you see how bad the building's gotten, it's like, well, no assisted living facility is going to move in there as it is now.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, great, we have to buy it and, to do what we're going to do. And, but don't you think that if my dad's in assisted living, right? He's in assisted living facility right now. My mom was in for 8 years before she passed away, and there was nothing for her to do. And she had a brain like mine. She was a doer, and she needed to be doing something all the time. I couldn't even get her transitioned into the car to even take her down and go. We'd go through a drive-through or something because the transition was so tough. But can you imagine being able to go and visit your parent, and maybe they're in a wheelchair, maybe, whatever, but you can actually get them and wheel them down the hall or whatever, down to something fun to do, even people to see, people walking by, or, a cafe or what have you. But yeah, the goal is a community within a community, and make a really, really nice place to live. But not only that, yes, there's going to be condos, there's going to be a assisted living place, but think about all the businesses that you would need if you're going to need a dentist, you're going to need things like that. And it's like, you see the comments online, oh, great, doctor's office, that's all we need. It's like, that's one of the things. But bakeries and spas and every other thing that you would need or want. But that's going to be, a portion of it. I'm guessing probably a third of the building will be all those other businesses. But just because the people that live there use them doesn't mean that the people who come to shop there wouldn't use them also.
Right. I mean,
I'd love to swing through and pick up, nice like pastry shop or whatever else, and then just walk around. There's nothing good to eat there. It's right now you can't compare what it is right now to what we're doing. But just think about what you want. Don't think about what it looks like now, because you'll never get there in your mind. But the rest of the building will be split between retail and things to do,
which is exciting because it's Maine, and there's so many.
I grew up here, and Man.
When it gets to be winter, there's not a lot to do.
I've never done a radio show before, but when I get nervous, I tell jokes, and I'm trying not to do that because she's going to hit the cough button. He's like, "You're not that funny." So I almost told a story about what I used to do when we had nothing to do, but I won't say that.
Okay.
The statute of limitations may not have run out yet.
What are you envisioning for things to do in there?
So, I mean, there's everything. It's crazy that that pickleball is so exciting and fun right now. All they did was, they had all these old tennis courts laying around, and so they decided to sell you some stuff so you'd use them again. And that's great, and racquetball and everything else. And so it's wonderful that that's one thing to do, but, everything from climbing walls. But we have to think about the future. Virtual bars. Have you heard about that?
I've never been to a virtual bar.
Go in and everything is about how it feels. Everything. But can you imagine just going into a little bar and being able to put on the headset, and it's almost like being in the Matrix. You just go, you got a comfy chair, and the temperature's nice, and you just put on that headset, and you pick what place you want to go to, and it's a virtual world. You know what I mean? You can just go into that. It's like, hey, where do I want to go today?
Interesting.
Yeah, those things already exist, but we don't have them around here. We got to shovel snow most of the time, But that's the thing. It's people don't understand. It's like, just because they think that just because this is Maine, well, we can't have anything nice. It's like, what do we do when somebody famous we find out is from Maine? Everybody talking, hey, did you know they were from Maine? Why is that? They have to be from somewhere. Maine is somewhere too.
True.
It's like, oh no, because there's such a we don't think very highly of ourselves as a whole, and there's no reason for that at all.
So that's your hope, is to kind of usher that, not only usher us into the future,
even need
but
to be that much of a hope. Obviously, everybody wants this to happen. This is just a building, and we're not doing anything that doesn't work. Yes, we want to flip a lot of the stores around where possible, where those stores meet the outside. We want this to look more like an outlet mall. That would make things a lot more functionable. We're still going to have the inside because, when the weather's bad, you're going to be on the inside. When it's great, all the green space that we're going to create by ripping up the majority of that parking lot and walking spaces, walking trails and everything else, that's going to be needed. I'm going to say a lot of stuff, and if it happens, that's awesome. But know that this is what we're working for. In my mind, I would work with multiple landscaping companies, and they'd each pick a section. Like, show me what you guys can do in this section. This is your section and this is going to be your business card. When people do the walking trails, they're walking through, this company's, business. And if you want this in your backyard, you can get this. And then, you go to another section, and that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's a good idea.
Why not? Absolutely, yeah.
No, I mean, and then, of course, they would take care of it. It saves us. We're going to spend a lot of money doing this, and I hope everybody, I really want it to be all hands on deck, because this matters to everybody. I don't have the money. I'm directing and I'm bringing people together to do this. But it's because it's important to so many people.
Especially, I think now with the work that's being done to Hogan Road in particular, they're working on the infrastructure there. They're creating the new diamond. It's going to be a safer space in general. You're going to have a lot of people being able to
be safe
get on.
Once everybody figures it out.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing. There is going to be a learning curve. I'm with you on that one. But we've got, we've established Stillwater on the other side as very, very hustle and bustle. Well, I think that your timing is great. That's my point. It's like you're coming in at a good time to do that.
I think so. The timing is amazing. The airport mall just sold. The BAM building just sold. I don't even know who that is yet. I hear it's an owner-operator. I heard the Joanne Fabrics building is going to be the Boot Barn. I have heard who is buying the furniture store, but I cannot tell you.
Yeah, she's got to do that on her own. Yep.
I'm just excited. Mm-hmm. I am excited about that.
Okay.
But there's
stuff coming.
I'm telling you, there's stuff coming, and I'm very excited about. I already have a business under contract for as soon as we close, and hopefully we're going to close simultaneously, and they're going to start. And then I have another meeting with an amazing thing that I just can't tell you about that's coming, and I can't wait to tell you about it. But as soon as that ink is on the paper,
you come back and you'll let us know.
Man, I'm so excited about that one. But it's just because we are not focused on the money. We're focused on the function of it. The function is, yes, whatever we do over there, it has to make money because it has to carry itself. Do you know what the tax bill is over there?
Oh, yes, I'm aware, yeah.
Well, that tax bill is when it's actually has a really low value. Wait till it's really valuable. Everything has to function. And as far as going back to what you talked about with those other businesses that are currently there, yeah, some of them are going to need help because, it's right now it's not really a functional thing, and their rent reflects that. When this is a really amazing, updated state-of-the-art building that's, future looking and all of that stuff, those businesses are going to need help too. And I think it's ridiculous to think that every single business is going to be able to stay, but I absolutely do not wish that anybody leaves. I'd like to work with everybody there. It's because of them that this building is still here. If they were gone, they would have bulldozed that place and did a subdivision and sold it
in
all
a heartbeat.
It would have been gone a long time ago,
Yep.
and everybody just would have been grumpy and would have got. And for the people who don't care and they don't live around here, they can do that because they're not here to look you in the eyes.
Right.
I live 5 minutes from here.
The quote from that I took away was like, "I'm from here, so if this goes south, like I'm not leaving."
Yeah. But the thing is, I've been a real estate agent for a long time, and big animals move slow. This is a big animal, and we're still putting the financing together. We're still literally collecting the docs and the leases and all that stuff. And this idea has to carry itself. And those things that I'm excited about, that has to work because the new business is coming in, and they're gonna sign an LOI, a letter of intent. Yes, if you do this, we will come. But kind of newsflash. They're already here. Everybody's here. At Christmas time, you've gone over to, all these other stores and it's crazy busy. You know what I mean? It's like the craft fair at the mall. It is exactly 98.6 degrees in that mall on the craft fair. It's like, it is hot and stank in here. Mm-hmm. It's like, but everybody's here. For what? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't wish to kick anybody out, not even the craft fair. Once all the stores fill up, there's not going to be that kind of space. Even the kiosks are going to be full. Mm-hmm. So there's not going. The only reason the craft fair works is because of all the empty spaces. When the empty spaces are gone, But the thing is, Bangor is starting to boom again.
Yeah.
And I don't think that craft fair is ever going to go away. It may move locations. I'm not going to kick them out, but I mean, if it doesn't function there, you know what I mean? It's because they found a better place for it.
Yeah.
There's the Cross Insurance Center. There's it could be that great. But yeah, there's a lot to do. And I talk a lot, but
okay.
But you had asked me about those other things to do. Yeah, there's a lot of things to do. Have you guys ever seen what a Dick's Sporting Goods is actually supposed to look like? That whole building, could be 2 stories. A Dick's Sporting Goods is actually twice that height. And that I talked to them, and their business has done better and better and better every single year. So that's an option.
Yeah.
Bangor is really busy. Did you know that BAM building, Books A Million is still operating. That's the busiest BAM of all of them.
Really?
Of all of them.
Huh.
Yeah. There's that Dick's Sporting Goods is as far as all of the locations. This one does very, very well. And we know how to eat here, and we know how to shop, and
so you're hoping to bring that in, yeah.
I mean, it's just do what works,
yeah.
And we're not reinventing anything. Everything that we're doing has been what's worked in other places, and I'd love to talk about the funniest comments I've seen online.
Well, hold that thought. We are going to come back to that. We have a couple songs to have sung and then some commercials to play, and we'll come back to some of the comments. But we've got Mike Cole here. He's the brains, some of them, behind what's going to be going on at the Bangor Mall, which is going to be a new facility here pretty quickly. I hope so. So we'll get back into that in just a minute right here on I-95, Bangor's Classic Rock Station.